this is Sam and Tiff, and welcome back to Life with Sam and Tiff. And boy, you know, the last week has been just such a joy reading your comments and all the wisdom that you have on our relationship videos. And please keep them coming. We love reading your videos. We love reading your comments on our videos, and we enjoy getting to know all of you. One of the things that Tiffany and I really try to do is to create healthy boundaries in our relationship. And just to be totally transparent with you, this is an ongoing process for us. We're always learning, and we're kind of getting to know each other's boundaries. And so we thought today we do a video on how to create healthy boundary in your relationship. It is something that we're always working on, and we thought it'd be helpful to do this video for ourselves, but hopefully again it can be helpful to some of you that are watching this as well. So maintaining boundaries and creating boundaries is actually a good thing in your relationship, and it can help build your relationship to be just a more of a blessing for the two of you. So with that said, we're gonna go right into it. We have 4 points that we want to go over in how to build and create healthy boundaries in your relationship. Yeah. So Tiff, you wanna take it from there?
Yes. So let's start. Our first point is don't lose yourself in your relationship. So it's very vital that when you're in a relationship, you need to have your own identity. So you don't go into the relationship that you are half empty and the other person is also half empty, and you're like looking for the missing puzzle piece of your life. I know that's very common among dramas and movies that we watch, that we're looking for that someone who could complete you. That is actually very wrong. You need to have your own identity first before going into a relationship, where in fact when you feel like you don't have your own identity, I believe that's an indication that you're not yet ready to be in a relationship. So when you are in a relationship, you need to be a whole person first, and then the other person must be whole as well. So when you are together, you are 2 whole people working together to form a relationship. So it's not good to rely on that person in your own or for your self-sufficiency. So healthy boundary is actually having self-sufficiency by yourself without relying fully on that person. So also when you become, or when you want to be whole as a person, or you are looking for your identity, take note, only in Jesus or Christ alone that we will feel complete, and not on the other person, or finding someone who could make you complete, or like finding an object, or even like watching dramas or K-pop artists or any Hollywood actors that you adore. They will not make you complete. Only Christ alone. Your identity is found in Christ alone. So we could share 3 remedies for you to follow in your relationship to keep having healthy boundaries. First is to have other people involved in the relationship. For example, your family, friends, or mentors that will help you talk about your relationship. So Sam used to tell me when we had our relationship first, he always told me that talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your church leaders about me, and follow what they say about me. So the relationship does not involve only the both of you. It's not exclusive on both parties, like the girlfriend, boyfriend, or like the spouse only. It involves the people around you and the people important for you. Point is to allow one another to have hobbies or other activities. It's not healthy to do everything together all the time.
That's right.
So you need to have separate activities. For example, I allow Sam to actually play his PS4 games or play his guitar when he is stressed. Or for example, again, is Sam allows me to bake because that's how I relieve my stress. So doing different activities will help you find your own identity. It does not mean you need to do everything together. You can do activities that you also like, and your partner could also do activities that he or she likes. Another thing is, it is okay to have different opinions, because again, just like what we shared in our other vlog, that we are different people with different minds. So basically, we have different opinions. So it is okay to agree to disagree and respect each other. Do you agree?
I do agree.
It does not mean that you have different opinions, that you don't like or each other anymore, or you're not compatible, but rather you are respecting that you are different individuals. So when you practice these things, we believe that you are creating healthy boundaries.
Fantastic. Good job, hon.
Thank you.
So our second point is don't wear his shirt and don't wear her shirt. Don't wear his shirt and don't wear her shirt. As your own person, remember that you are responsible for your own feelings. You own your own feelings, right? So if your mood is constantly and solely reliant on your significant other's feelings, then you know that at some point there's been blurring of healthy boundaries in your relationship. So yes, it is healthy to be dependent on your significant other. That's a good thing. But when you're codependent on your significant other, that's when you know that there's some things that need to change in your relationship. So for example, it is perfectly fine to mourn with your significant other if they're in mourning, if they've had a loss or some sort of traumatic experience. When they're going through some struggles, it is okay to have compassion and empathy for your significant other. It is great to support them in their search for a job, or if they're having some really stressor. It is okay to feel compassion and empathy for your significant other when they're going through stress in their life. Try this for your relationship. Ask yourself these questions. When your significant other is depressed, are you depressed? When your significant other is mad, do you get mad? When your significant other is happy, do you get happy? When they're on edge, do you get on edge? When their anxiety is high, is your anxiety high as well? When they're bored, are you bored? So those are indications that your boundary has blurred and you need to renegotiate healthier boundaries. So here's a remedy. Number one, recognize that your significant other's feelings do not always have to be yours. You can have compassion and empathy, but you don't have to always feel like you have to adopt or put on your significant other's feelings. That's what we mean by don't wear his or her shirt, right? You're responsible for your own feelings, and your significant other is responsible for their feelings. So this serves your relationship well because it provides accountability so that you can own what is yours and your significant other can own what is theirs as well. The third point is know your limits. You know, it is absolutely important for you to know your limits. These are things that make you uncomfortable, right? So you have to know what makes you comfortable, what makes you uncomfortable. Ask yourself these questions. Am I supporting my significant other at the cost of my own mental health and my emotional and physical well-being? Do I expend so much energy and so much effort in meeting my significant other's needs to gain their approval? And if I don't do those things, do I feel like they're disapproving of me? Your significant other has needs, but your needs are just as important as your significant other, right? So you, when you cross your limit, when you cross your capacity, you are leading yourself to a burnout. You're gonna feel exhausted, you're gonna feel overwhelmed, and that can lead to neglect of your other relationships in your life. So do you ignore your own moral conscience to do what your partner wants you to do? Those are some good indications that possibly you're crossing your own limits. So what is the remedy? Well, it is perfectly okay to say no. When you are unable to meet that request, it is okay to say, you know what, I'm unable to do that. That is okay to say. I don't want you to feel guilty for saying no, right? Because if you say yes all the time, it can build resentment, it can build bitterness. So practice saying no. When you say no, you're not saying no to your whole relationship. You're saying no to a request, or you're saying no to a specific idea, but you can say no. When you say no, you're showing your significant other that these are my limits, and you're actually giving permission to your significant other that they can also say no as well. So try this next time. When you feel pressured to make a decision, and when you feel pressured to say yes, say, you know what, let me get back to you on that, right? Or let me have some time to think about it, and in that time go talk to a mentor or go talk to someone that you trust and ask them what you should do, and whatever advice that you get, make your decision using your own wisdom and your own thoughts on that. So that's a helpful way to know your limits and make wise decisions for yourself.
And the last, and I think very important, is practice self-care. How will you practice self-care? It's actually taking good care of your personal health. What do I mean by that? It means restoring your soul, mind, of course, your health. It's about filling your own tank. They say, how can you love others when you don't have enough love for yourself? So you need to fill that tank first, so that you can give it back to other people. Sometimes when you feel like already very aggravated, annoyed, exhausted, like you want to the point that end the relationship because you don't understand what is happening anymore, in that time, maybe you should need to take a break and do self-care. How to do that? What's the remedy for that? Of course, it doesn't need to be very expensive. It could be practical and cheap. Example, you could just go and take a hot shower. Or if, for example, in some countries they don't have hot shower, they could like boil water, put it in a bucket, and then you could feel the warmth of the water and you feel relaxed. You could, for example, do your hobbies. Some people, they like playing instruments, some people like to read books, or just take a walk outside, like exercising. They say exercising gives you, or like when you exercise rather, it produces this happy hormone that makes you feel good about yourself. So again, it doesn't necessarily mean you go to the salon, do your nails, do your hair. It could be practical things that you could do at home. So it is, I think, very connected to the first point. The first point is don't lose yourself in your relationship. When you fill your own tank, you are having your own identity. You are filling up, patching up yourself so that you still have the identity intact and you're ready to give it back to your significant other. This self-care should be intentional. And it's a decision you need to make all the time. There are times that we are aware of this and our partner is not. Like our partner is like so much into you, you can actually remind that person. Sam actually reminds me a lot about it. When we were still boyfriend and girlfriend, he would always tell me, go hang out with your friends. He supported me traveling with my friends. He always tells me, go and spend time with your family. We could talk again next time when you're done spending time with them. So encourage one another, just like what we have said. And I think when you cooperate and work together as a team, just like we always tell you, everything will go according to places. Sometimes it's hard, but you know, practice makes perfect, just like what they say. It's an old saying, but it's very true. So we hope that you have learned again something from us. We appreciate so much all the views, all the people who watched our vlogs, and those who placed their comments and also imparted their wisdom upon us. We really read every message that you place there. And thank you so much to all who subscribed in our channel, and we're almost 500 and we can't believe it, but thank you so much. All glory belongs to the Lord. We give him thanks that we're able to share these things to you. Again, we'd like to say that we're no experts on this matter. These are things that we have learned from other people as well, that every day we remind ourselves that we need to do it. So it's okay to commit mistakes.
Good job, honey.
I know.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again next time.
Yes, thank you so much. God bless you and be safe.
Bye-bye.